Hello, South Africa's in the news recently, so I wanted to do a bit of an explainer on what that's about. If you already know, skip this video, it's fine. It's a free country. Also, this is the internet, so you can just kind of scroll away. The Australian media are notoriously terrible at covering topics like that, so I do encourage you to seek out other sources like Unremarkable Car Graphix, Toilet Paper Australia, Cheek Media, and Kaleidoscope News. For context, I am a South African born in South Africa. I also do have a law degree as well as a global studies degree, so I know something about the topic. Yesterday, South Africa stood before the International Court of Justice and argued that there is a genocide occurring in Gaza. They used statements from Israeli government ministers to support their claim, as well as evidence collected from, around the world and a number of different sources. What's the significance of this? Well, there's this doctrine in international law and the international community called the Responsibility to Protect, also known as R2P. I don't know why. This doctrine was formed after the Rwandan genocide and the genocide in former Yugoslavia, after the whole international community did nothing while a genocide occurred, multiple genocides occurred. So this doctrine pretty much says that, hey, if there's a genocide, the international community has an obligation to step in and make sure that doesn't happen. The hearing before the International Court of Justice at the moment is more of a preliminary hearing. The goal of the hearing is to kind of say, hey, we reckon there might be a bit of a genocide going on. Can we just put a pause on that and then discuss whether or not there actually is a genocide occurring? That's because these processes can take, 2 years, takes quite a long time, or it's expected to take quite a long time. So pretty much South Africa is arguing that, hey, we reckon there's a genocide happening. Here's all our evidence. Can we maybe put it on hold for a bit while we discuss further? Why South Africa is, I guess, the next question. Number one, because the rest of the international community really can't be fucked. But number two, Nelson Mandela, former leader of the ANC, which is the leading political party, the African National Congress, has always been a supporter of the Palestinian freedom movement. Nelson Mandela is famous for saying in 1997, "We know too well that our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of the Palestinians." South Africa also has a pretty long and brutal history of apartheid. Apartheid means aparthood, or separateness, or apartness, and it's pretty much a system of government where the laws apply to you differently based on, your skin color or your race or some other determinative factor. This concept was actually introduced in Queensland before it was exported to Australia. It should be one of our biggest international shames. In Queensland, we had separate laws that applied to Indigenous people only, like curfews and kind of lockout zones, and it is incredibly shameful. South Africa knows what apartheid is very well, and I believe that they can see that going on overseas, and that's why they're the ones who've stepped up when the rest of the West has not. So what happens next? The International Court of Justice's findings are binding, although they've been ignored in the past. If the court orders the activities of the Israeli occupation to halt and they don't follow these orders, UN sanctions can occur, but then they can also probably be vetoed by the US government. This would be a pretty bad look, considering, that's not a great thing to do, but it is a possibility. The US government has been asked if they would veto any sanctions or anything like that if the court determines that there is a genocide or potentially a genocide occurring for further discussion. They refuse to comment on that. Anyways, thank you for listening. I'm going to be playing some songs with the bloke from The Voice of Flinders Station on the 24th of February at Shot Kickers, so if you want to come along to that, please feel free. I'll be playing some songs about Palestine. Also, if you want to grab some merch for that, there's some stuff in my link tree. The pre-order for the picnic stuff ends this weekend, so if you want that, feel free to grab that. If you don't do that. Love you.